Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend. Hopefully everyone had a great week as well. Today let's just talk about the market. Let's get right into it. Last week we just had a nice red week. As you can see, this weekly candle, nice red one, and then this buyer wick. She's like, it's the volatility is still here, right? So it's kind of a good thing because we're option traders and we can definitely trade both sides. Always remember that, okay? I personally don't like the put side. I don't care for it, but I definitely can scalp any put play, any put setup that's out there very easily. So again, I'm not a big fan of the put side, but you can definitely still play it, and nothing wrong with that, right? So let me just give you guys some levels for the market as to what to watch out for and things to look out for this week. There's some real good setups in the market and, lots of opportunity everywhere. We do have the beginning of earnings coming up soon. So that's something that you guys got to be aware of, that there's a potential that things may run up into earnings and there's a potential that things may run down into earnings. So you get a preview of both, and it's kind of like a way for you to look for a call side or a put side, depending on the ticker that you want to look for. So make sure you guys look out for that. All right. So let's cover ES real quick. Okay, and let's look at some good levels here. So the next part of demand that we really have on ES, there's really this little section right here. Okay, I just want to point out that we had a nice run. Okay, there wasn't a lot of structure, there wasn't a lot of demand created. A demand is created when you have multiple candles in a structure, like this. So you'll have a run up, you'll have a base, and then you have a break, and then you have your retest, and then that retest is either going to confirm or reject, and it's just come back to the bottom. Okay, so you want to look for structure, you want to look for an area where we can base out and create a demand, create a support. Otherwise, we're going to look into creating a supply, and it can definitely be created here, or it can just create another level of demand as long as we break up or break down, whichever one. And we will know if it's going to be a demand, and we will know if it's going to be a supply. Supply is your resistance, demand is your support. So let's make that clear, okay? So we did clearly go back up, right? So the only level, like what I just explained, is this piece right here where we have some structure, okay? So I'm going to highlight this whole piece right here, grabbing the top of this red candle right here, the wick right here where we kind of retested, and then this break of base right here where we just kind of like went sideways and the wicks kept going in there, and we found some support right here at this 4140 level, and we just kind of built that. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark this top piece. Okay, so it's at 42.35, and then the bottom of this piece right here, so this candle, this piece, 41.15. Okay, so with the market heading into the direction, it's not a bad target for the downside. Definitely could see a little more room to the downside, but like most of us, we would love to see this market go up, just because stocks only go up, right, guys? So let's still look out, and let's still be ready for these demand levels, right? It's a huge area of buyers where they can actually step in, and we can see a nice reversal in the market at these levels. But again, got to be ready for both sides, right? So in this case, what I want you to see as well is that we did get rejected from here. Okay, so that 44.50, the 44.50 psychologically, we couldn't even break above the previous week. So this is what kind of gave us a bullish play, a bullish sentiment last week, which was pretty awesome, like towards the end of the week, where we just kind of trended back up after that nice fall, where buyers stepped in. But as you can see here, we did get rejected. And then from this piece, we made a lower low, not on the bigger time frame, but just on this little trend right here, the past like 5 candles, right? So the buyers did not show up. So these buyers who were here, they're not here anymore. As you can see, we hit the bottom. We made even lower. Now, here's the thing to look for. We want to look for the next candle to at least start closing in here. Okay. This is what we want to see. We want to see a few candles just build, even if we create like a nice little base and just create wicks. So what this is going to look like, it's going to look like a drop base. Okay, we're either going to create that supply, that demand, or we're going to create that supply where we're going to come down. All right. So that's kind of what I'm looking for into the next couple of weeks for the month of October. Just a bigger picture, just to give you guys in general idea, because of the volume. The volume bars here are pretty heavy on equal parts of selling and buying. But right now the sellers are still in control of this. Okay, so over that 44.50, I think we'll start to look bullish again. Other than that, in down here, just make sure that we do have a nice room to come down to this 42.40, sorry, 42.30. Yeah, 42.40, 36 area, all the way down to the bottom of 41.38. So I'm going to use this as a first target, the 41.38. And then the bottom of this, which is like your 41.15. Okay, so keep those levels in mind. Those are major areas where you want to look to see if there's going to be buyers and sellers, just in general. Okay, so we are still on this nice downtrend. Last week, I mean, I think we all could have used a little bullish play, but unfortunately, all this actually played out to the downside. Nice little flag came down, came here and retested. So right now we're at that retest level of that breakout. So on the smaller time frames, if we wanted to get closer in here, over 43.80, I would be a little more bullish and safer. As you can see, I do have my alerts right above 43.89. And then I want to see a trend back up to this 44.50 level. So I want to see ES just have a nice run up. Other than that, I think we're going to see the next bar, a nice little red candle where we're going to just pull back, kind of hang out right in these levels. What I don't want to see is that this retest fails and we do continue to the downside, which will create a nice little staircase pattern to the downside. All right, so it's kind of what I'm looking for ES. Is the 43.80 is going to be a more safer entry to the top side, which gives us enough room right here to let the pre-market happen, the aftermarket happen for the futures, and gives us some more time. So I don't want to break this anymore. This little piece right here, this 43.20. Below 43.20, I'll still be bearish. So 43.20 below, I'm going to be bearish just in general in the market. Over this 43.80, I'll be bullish in general for the market. So remember those two levels, the target on top, and then the target for ES on the bottom would be this 42.40, 35, 36, 39, anywhere around there, 42.50, just this whole level in general. Okay, so doesn't have to be a specific price point, but definitely look for that piece right there. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for. 42.20 to the downside right here, 42.80 to the top side up there. Okay, very simple for ES. All right, so remember that, guys. Same thing for tech. We're kind of still on this like channel down. So if we can't get above this, let me see this piece here. And all this is on the 4-hour, guys, just so we get a little more information. Or 1482. Yeah, around that 1482. I just want to make sure that we're above. If we can go even above this 150, sorry, 149. Yeah, 149 level. It would be pretty nice. So anything above that, I'll be long. But here, I'm just going to be a little more cautious because tech still looks weak, guys. All right, so not much on tech. I'm not a big fan on tech. The other one I really want to show you guys is the RTY, the same feature that I've been talking about for quite some time, and I always kind of mention this in every video that we talk about. So I'll say this 23. The 23 is going to be the area where we're most likely going to start breaking out to the top side, and you can see we're kind of just forming this man, like a pennant. But it's gonna squeeze in here. We still got some more time to squeeze. These are weekly candles, but like I said, there's buyers down here and sellers down here. So RTY is fighting. This is IWM. This is the small caps, and it brings a lot of sentiment from the airlines and XLF. Two of the biggest holders for RTY is RUN, run, and PLUG, which is plug. Okay. So if you guys want to look for some type of direction, some kind of strength, look at those two specific stocks just to get a little more sentiment for this ticker. Okay, but it's squeezing right here pretty hard. I know a lot of people have eyes on it, but this thing has been building for quite some time, and I've been able to, trade these bottoms and tops, but mainly the bottoms. So just look out for this, guys. Right, look for the next breakout. So like I said earlier, the volatility is still here, guys. The volatility hasn't really gone anywhere. There's still a lot of news looming out, with all the financial stuff that has to do with the debt and, so much more that you guys can go research. I'm sure you guys can. So what I wanted to show you guys here is the VIX again, just the results of things that are continuing to happen. Every time we go green, we go red. You guys know the characteristics. And we went super green, basically a nice little gap up on top, then got rejected, and then the candle ended up being way at this bottom. And then we got a nice green candle the next one. So I'm expecting a little more red. Hopefully it's not that green anymore, but definitely just still watching out for the volatility in the market. All right. XLF is another one that you guys should be aware of on the 4-hour time frame. I want to show you guys how valuable these zones are and how retests, always play out. Here you go. We actually traded sideways here for quite some time on the financials, and then we finally had broken out, came down, retest again, and then again created this channel, and then again it tested this level, and again we're right back at the same spot. So all these spots are just playing out perfectly. So the supply and demand, guys, if you guys don't know how to chart supply and demand, there's actually a good video here in the YouTube channel that you guys should check out. It's how to chart supply and demand, how to understand it as well. So the supply and demand levels don't change. Just like a intraday pattern where you have a bull flag, you have the retest. That bull flag pattern is not going to change intraday. It's going to stay the same. The only time it changes is the next day because you no longer have that bull flag. When it comes to the supply and demand on the bigger time frames, it stays the same. All right, so all these levels can be used. Future references 37 and 37 levels, the area that was once resistance, which was supply, and then this bottom of like 36 was a demand. Every time we came down here, we got up to this level, got rejected, and then finally broke out, retested here, confirmed again. This actually happened on Friday, which was pretty awesome. So look out for, this to even trade sideways. I don't care if it trades sideways as long as it respects the levels. It respects the bottom, it respects the top. It respects the bottom, it respects the top. So just the same characteristics. It's just we're trading at different levels, and let it go sideways. It's okay. Buy the bottom, sell at the top, right? Keep it very simple. So look for financials to keep on trending at least to this top. If it wants to go a little bit sideways, buy it around this 37.50. Buy the dip at 37.50 and 37. This is a 50-cent stop loss here, with your reward all the way to that 39. So you guys do the math. Jets, same thing. Something that we've been talking about the past few videos, and this is something that I pointed out to you guys, where hopefully you guys are in this trade as well. And some of these sleeps that I mentioned, been in this sleep. Look at all this resistance here, and then look at the demand here, and then look at the perfect retest that happened on Jets, right? So now that Jets, it's confirmed this price point and this bounce. I'm looking for Jets to continue a nice staircase pattern to hit every target on this piece right here. So the one piece that we had, what you want to do when you have something like this, you want to create levels. So you want to grab that top, want to grab that base, right? So here's your base again. Look at this, okay? There's your little base, the inside base, and then you have this nice little staircase pattern. You have this piece right here. You have that target, and then you have this like weird little top thing, and then you have these tops over here. Okay, so those are all my targets for Jets. Like you guys can go look at your chart and look at the way that it's gonna go, right? So let me see. If I go on the weekly, look, this is how I picture it, right? Here's your breakout, here's your retest, here's your breakout again, here's your pullback, and then here's your breakout. Here's your pullback, here's your breakout. This is how you want to see a nice staircase pattern, just keep on going higher and higher every time we create a new trend change. That's what happens when things change trend and they start reversing. But a lot of people, like to buy the tops of the breakout of the high of the day. Don't buy those highs of the days. If you guys see a staircase pattern, go look at the previous video as well and learn how to trade a staircase pattern. You buy on red candles, buy on a red day, and the next day, you're just going to watch this thing just go up the next day and create higher highs, right? Instead of buying the top, because now you're missing the whole trade when you could have just bought down here, your stop loss right here. Very, very simple. But yet you want to miss this whole trade and buy at the top, okay? It just doesn't make sense. So look out for airlines. I am in still some of my jet leaps. I'm actually up pretty nice. I'm in DAL and AAL as well. Go look at the tickers. I'm also in Save. Save is another one that I grabbed some in the monies, and it's the same setup. Okay, all this accumulation that happened. See how it ran up and then came down and retested right here, and then now it's creating a staircase pattern. So I'm going to keep buying on these red candles until I get stopped out. Okay, so keep it simple on the airlines. They are the next staircase pattern run up. So even though tech is weak, we do still have other sectors that are strong. So I'm just showing you guys XLF and airlines and then the RT1. Okay. I want to show you guys another pattern that's being created on solar here. Solar is also squeezing down here. Nice little pattern. It's not ready yet to break out in any way, in any direction. So just keep your alerts over this like 84. Draw this trend line on your guys' charts, even on the weekly. This is what it's based on. All the selling pressure here and then all the buying pressure down at this bottom. So I'm sure you guys can keep track of this. It still needs a little more time in here just because this is a weekly, but definitely keep in mind this sector, right? So we'll just talk about CAT real quick as well. CAT was on the watch list last week, and I was able to take a lot of profits on this one too. Got stopped out on my runner around these levels right here, around this like what is this 200? We couldn't hold here. The resistance was too strong, and then it just dropped it down. So I still have all my alerts up here. I still want to follow up with CAT. I think CAT's had a great risk to reward play, and I just want this to hold. So keeping it simple, just this bottom down here. Okay, just this bottom. You can see I did it bounced on Friday and it held through the market. So I'm going to keep trading some basic levels on here. Buy at support and resistance from this like 192 to this 196, all the way to 198 and 200. If it can come back up here over this 202, then for sure I'll look for even longer calls. But just intraday, during the week, I'm going to keep track of CAT and make sure that I get the best risk to reward plays when it comes to buying at these bottoms. So keep an eye on CAT to just come back over this level. Keep your alerts right here at this 201.80 and 202. This is the level that it's going to continue to trend change back into this top of like 213, even 210, 207. So definitely can be a great play for CAT. Okay. BA. Let me show you this weekly. Let me show you how it's all connecting right here. So remember one thing that I've said before, that if you guys have this trend line and it just kind of matches, that everyone else out there has the same trend line. If everyone else out there has the same trend line, they're probably looking at the same thing you are and probably a little biased, and they're probably going to play that break of the trend line or the rejection of the trend line, whatever it may be. So just to let you guys know, keep that in mind. But I also want to point out something strong, that with the airlines being strong, BA likes to run with the airlines as well, and it has its own characteristics. It has its own movements. It has these like pump and dump type of days where it'll pump up super high, give back the gains, and then towards the end of the day, it might just run up just a little more just to stay green. but then sometimes it just dumps all the way, and then it keeps on dumping. So what I want you to realize with BA is that we are over this 223 level that we've mentioned in the past. We did bounce up this nice demand. We did accumulate a lot right here at these levels. So from this point right here, all right here, the characteristics changed. It got a lot more volume. It got a lot more attention. So if you can compare to here, there was light volume. There was some more accumulation here. So whoever got into BA, they're fighting for these levels up here to hold. All these levels are still holding strong. As you can see here, here's your retest. Here's your retest again. Here was the breakout. We kind of gapped up and just pushed. We again gapped up and pushed. Here we dropped down and flushed, and then right here we messed around. We kind of just went inside and fought throughout the day, and then just pushed towards the end of the day. So BA still has a lot of characteristics here that are very strong. And just so you know that the characteristics changed here, and they're changing with some good volume. All right, so keep eyes on BA for a reversal, and also over that 230. It's going to be a bigger level to break, just because it's a psychological thing, and most likely it'll be over this trend line. So keep eyes on BA. There's a higher probability that this thing could go to 240. But again, it doesn't have to. It can legit just reject and come back down to these levels. So at these levels, I'll be buying the dip, stop out right below. At this level, I'll be buying the dip, stop out right below, whichever one comes first. Okay, so puts to the bottom, calls to the top. I mean, you name it, just use these specific levels, and you guys have seen the charts that have been posted. So Tesla is the other one that I want to talk about. I know they got some real good news, and I don't know how it's going to react pre-market, but whatever it is, you guys, I'm going to give you guys a good warning that once this thing gaps up or gaps down, then the news is already going to be priced in. So when you come back the next day, right at open, I know some of you are going to try to get hyped up. Make sure those contracts adjust and you do not get biased. Okay, there's going to be a gap up or down. It doesn't matter. There's going to be a huge break. There's going to be a huge movement. There might not be any of that. Okay, market's not open for me yet, so I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm giving you a warning now. This news, it's probably going to be priced in pre-market or aftermarket. Okay, FYI, be aware of that. I can't give you any specific levels now, but I know that over the 790 and even the 800 can be a good break to the top side. That's all I can give you right now for Tesla. Okay. With that being said, NEO is holding this 35 level pretty well. Okay. The only difference now is that it might break down to the downside because of that news. It might affect NEO in a bad way. It might affect it in a good way. But either way, this 35 and 34.75 is become a nice support. So if it does break this level because of the Tesla news, it has room to drop, and the drop would be all the way down to this level right here. Okay, let's get ready for this. So I'm going to use the bottom 32.70. Okay. And then the bottom of like, I would just do 31. Okay. So $5 move from the break of 35. Okay. All the way to the 30 potentially. $4 move, sorry, 35 to 31. So could be a big move, but either way, watch out for that. Also, GM is another one that I saw. As you guys can see here, we kind of have like this nice little flag going on here with GM. All right, it's not a perfect flag, but definitely looking into trading that. If you don't want to look at it as a flag, you can go over at 53.50. Okay, over that 53.50, GM will has a higher probability of running up just because of all this risk to reward that it has. To the top side is pretty nice. But if you want to take it short over this 52.50, I mean, below 52.50, you would be able to take this short. Okay. So just keep eyes on these NEO, GM, even F. F has a nice weird little looking squeeze as well. Okay. Weird looking squeeze here, weird looking channel, just because of the recent run up. So Tesla, NEO, GM, F. Okay. The other ticker I want to talk about is JKS. This is the one of a solar. Yeah, I want to mention, I want to show you guys something that happened to this. This actually broke the trend right here, so it confirmed. So when I like to see stocks like this, like I said, it creates a staircase pattern, so it likes to run, pull back, right? It likes to run, maybe pull back in here somewhere, and then run again, okay? So that's kind of like how I want to be able to view this, because it broke. So the targets, right? Since we already kind of hit this first target right here, the next target would be this piece right here. So I'm going to use some of the wicks here, that 49. And then you have this top right here of 50.50, 50.85. And then you have this huge wick up here of 52.47. And then it's 51.60. So that's how I want to see JKS, just kind of like I pointed out. I want to see it do this, go here, go there. See that? That's how I want to see JKS. This has a nice potential to keep on going and create this reversal pattern here, a nice little staircase. So if this thing goes red, let's just say Monday, I want to be able to buy the dip around this 46.50 to this 47. So don't let it go down too much. I don't think letting it go down too much would be smart. 42.50 would be ideal entry, and then just take it long, or just take it long over that 48. But yeah, look out for that for JKS, and then FSLR. Same thing. The break of right here is like 97 level. I think you can do a nice little run with JKS. So keep track of those. I have my alerts ready. I am set, and then my target's gonna just be the top of this. Can be 106. First target 99, even 100. All the way to this 102. So just trail it. I would say trail it every like dollar or so. The other setup here that I saw value in was Snow. Snow kind of just has this nice uptrend, and it finally came down and created a nice little pattern right here. So tomorrow, it's going to either break to the bottom from this, I would just say 299, or I'm sorry, 300. I would use 300 just because it's a psychological thing. And then the top of 305. So 305 long, 300 short. And it's going to play out to its pattern, okay? Snow had a recent run up. That's just been amazing. Kind of weird, chopped up run up. One of those slow movements that are very hard to capture. But definitely if it breaks trend here, this will be the deciding factor on Monday, where, below that 300 or over that 305, we can, shoot up or down. If we shoot down, most likely the trend will continue to the downside, just because the run was pretty heavy already. If we run up, we'll definitely just come back up and retest some of these levels, all the way to this like 310. So even potentially 320. So look out for that, right? IBM is another one. If you guys wanted to look at this one, there's been a resistance right here at this like 144.30 to this like 145, I think it was. Well, 144.50. If we break that resistance, that can definitely be a nice reverse. So as you can see here, had a nice green candle on Friday. I don't know if there was any catalyst, but then the volume looks pretty decent. And the trend could potentially continue all the way to the top of 147. So keep track of IBM. So those are some of the tickers that I wanted to share with you guys. Look out for NEO, GM, FSLR, JKS, Snow, IBM. Check out the airlines guys and the financials. They've been doing very well, and we do have earnings coming up into next week. And I know that I believe is the airlines. They're gonna probably kick it off. Maybe some financials. Yeah, some financials as well. Financials and airlines are going to be kicking off the earnings. So again, it can be a run up into earnings. It can be a run down into earnings season. So whatever it may be, we are in its new month, and a lot of investors are coming in and loading up on certain things in the market. So, look out for things that are actually trending, and you can actually see the shift change while it's happening for this new quarter. Okay, we have October, November, December, and we have a great 3 months to look forward to just to end of the year. So yeah, Um, stay green, guys. Please manage your risk. Don't get biased. Watch out for that volatility. Volatility is still there. Watch out for all those news catalysts that may pop up here and there. And be aware that this market ain't going nowhere, that you can play puts and calls to either direction. Don't be biased, like I said. Look out for patterns to continue. Look for patterns to break either above or below and trade it. There's a nice equal balance in the market in general, where you have buyers and sellers across the board. So pick and choose the correct ticker and setup that you understand and play it to the best of your ability, and then go back and do a little recap. Maybe find somebody that can help you be accountable and hold each other, to certain standards where you gotta review your trades. Do it as a team and keep on growing, guys. All right, push yourselves to the limits. So I'll leave you guys with that. Hopefully you guys make some good plays this week. So CAT, BA, Tesla, we have no clue yet, but GM, Snow, JKS, IBM, FSLR, real good plays, SAVE, DAL, UAL, and AAL. A lot of good plays out there, guys. So make sure you guys stay updated, right? Set your alerts, guys. And again, I guess I'll see you guys during the week. You guys have a great week and stay green.